were talking about serendipity also, right? And one of the things which we struggle a lot on, which is in connection to this, is that the mind always wants predictability, right? And wants, like, certainty, right? That, but that if I do this, how will I be taken care of, right? What will I, so it's very hard to lean into uncertainty, right? But what we don't, so that's a very linear kind of thinking, right? I mean, for example, if I'm wondering, if you were to look back at your life 2 years ago when you took that leap of faith and dropping that your uh, monthly paycheck, uh, perhaps, like, and I remember, I connected you to one or two friends, and all of them said that, oh man, this idea is, like, this doesn't make sense, it can't scale up, it won't make sense, you won't be able to survive, and all of that, you're a fool, don't, like, risk yourself into this. But so all kinds of your own inner doubts, and that get compounded by the external doubts. But I think there's something to learn from your journey about that how serendipity can strike, and your path can get formed in ways you cannot imagine. Like, a metaphor which I really love is, like, if you can't see, like, the next 20 steps of your journey, it's like a torch, right? Your heart is like a torch guiding you in a dark tunnel. It's like you can see the next two steps, and once you walk the two steps, the next two will become clear, right? So I don't know what like how have what have you seen about this kind of trust in the goodness of life, and how it has become like a
Yeah,
sort
in
of, it
fact,
seems like that's a business plan, right? Like serendipity is your business plan.
yeah. So see, I think I don't know what's the technique to tap into that unknown, but I'll just give you my 2 cents here. Like, for example, see, one, because of my eye condition, right? Whatever you like it or not like it, this is a decreasing condition, right? Like the sight is going down, and you can see that. So this itself, and you don't know what will happen 10 years, 20 years, 30 years down the line. For me as an individual, and sight is important. So, and so there are two choices. Either, I feel, look at this, that, hey, I have a decreasing eyesight, and start worrying about things. And the second is, just trust the universe to make things align for me. So, and this is like a very small example. I travel all of the places alone independently. At one point when I was there in, probably don't know how to harness serendipity, my mind would say that, hey, will the cab driver who come to pick me up would be good or not? Because he might not help me, or he would leave me in a deserted place and run away, as such. But now when I travel, I actually see, uh, when I meet a security guard, he would remember me a lot of times. The person who assists me will say, "Hey, you flew to Delhi last, right? How are you?" Or the person who is taking, my ticket, even if he is a person who is unknown, he would again, that connection. I feel that connection, and even the person who frisks me at the airport, and I don't know what it is, but like, we'll just exchange two or three words, and I have always seen the person who comes to pick me up would suddenly turn up to be like my next, like, best friend in a lot of cases. And it happens with me every day, in not only this flight experience. I still remember, like, I landed up to the Bangalore airport, and I met a cab driver, and he had seen my episode on TV, and he says that, I would not leave you till your friend comes after reaching the destination. I will wait. I said, no, boss, I am comfortable. You go. It's like, and I'm very comfortable in unknown scenarios, unknown places. And I've tested this hypothesis because of my site, and
Hmm.
again, using technology. So I'm actually taking a lot of these extreme steps, which I should not in sometimes, but I just do things to test things on what will happen. in like for example, just going to Goa and living here.
Yeah.
Again, purely serendipity and a mix of obviously several other factors, but yeah, even in terms of meeting people, trying to be non-transactional about it, and like
Yeah.
tuning into this has helped the company also and helped me as an individual also, as such. So
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I have seen some examples of that. Like, you were talking about cab drivers, and I remember, like, when I had come to your place, and there was like actually a scooty driver actually had come in scooty, and yesterday just seeing some photos. I don't have that photo right now, but uh, you called that guy up, and like you invited him to dinner, and like there's a photo which is like both of you sitting on the sofa and like eating dinner together, you know which is like who calls the cab driver up to their home and just serve them to dinner, like, and sit together, right? That is like really, I think, and that is like really the heart of inclusion, right? And with that is, how do you meet each person as a human being? And if you are able to do that, of course, like if then you can trust on serendipity, right? Like love begetting greater love. And even one more example, right? Like I was like very so I was when I was going to his place, and he was just telling, oh, the new cook is coming, and of course he needs like a person to help him around, like in some case, so he'll be staying with him. And you know what, Rohit, what I told that, why do you sleep here? Like there's a bedroom empty, why don't you just use the bed and sleep there? So it was really like baffling for me, man. Like the kind of and baffling in a good way, like inspiring, that how do you, because especially when I think one of the great uh, unintended consequence or a negative side effect of success also is that how we start feeling disconnected to others, right? So then to be able to reclaim back that heart, where you realize that in the larger scheme of things, we are all just really equal, and to be able to meet people in that sameness rather than your own specialness is like such a profound thing. So it's amazing, man.